All right, so you're welcome again to Flutter beginner class. Let's see what we can do today. I'm going to pop up my visor, so more like starting fresh. Okay, get this one ready, and let's say we'll put this out to make this a little bit. Okay, bring this up to the side. Start. Okay. All right. So now I want to open or create a folder specifically for profiles. So I'll create a new document or a new folder. Let's say profile. Just name that profile. Now this file is created. You can create it in desktop folder. You can create it in document. All right, but I'm actually creating it in my main, should I say, main root. If I should click this arrow now, this is where I'm creating it. It's a folder that has all your download folder, this document, this downloads. Okay, so this is where I actually organize my project. I don't use desktop. All right, so that's one. Then, okay, select this, select. All right, so now this is the folder here. Now let's create a project, Flutter project, new terminal. Okay, now I'm in this particular folder. So just like I said before, you could go either through Control Shift P to do a new Flutter project. Okay. Another way to go about it is to, on your terminal, you enter Flutter create, and then the name of the Flutter project. Okay, Flutter create, and then you click the enter key and wait for it to create. Okay, so it's created now. Downloading packages. Okay, it's now set up. If I should click this drop down, you see my project is set up. Okay, we have the Android folder, library folder, PubSec, YAML. All right, so now it says in order to run your application, type cd profile. So I'll go down to my terminal and type cd space profile. Okay, and click enter. Now you notice I have users, profile. Okay, that is because this profile here is the name of the Flutter project, while this one is the name of the folder in my directory. Okay, this is a folder, and this is the name of the Flutter project. Okay, all right, so you can see profile, although, okay, so now let's see, we're going to go to our library, or rather, let's go to Android, click on Gradle, change this property to 5, save, go to settings, okay, change this to 3, this to 2, then 2.021, and save. All right, so that works. Then let's go to our main file. All right, so in this main file, let's put all this out. Okay, and so the profile, I'm going to be running through it like really fast to see how it can. Yeah, so in this class today, while building the profile, you'll be learning about padding, list view, column, container. Of course, I already talked about column and container, divider, row, and then list out. Okay, so we'll be using these widgets in addition to the widgets we covered in the previous class. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Let me clear this one off. I haven't cleared everything off, so let's see. Just hold on a bit. So I'd like you to really follow closely, okay? Like very close. All right, so here, let's say we have my app here. Let's make this my profile. Okay, let's have my profile here. Is it shown here already? Okay, go to this. Okay, change that there, this here, and then let's do this. Okay. All right, so I will just change this name, remove the const. If I had the const there, probably thrown, let's see. Okay, still fine. Okay, so we have this at the start. Or let's say, yeah, we have a material app. Then let's take out this. Okay, take out that. And then from this part down, the stateful widget, take it down, take it out. And then this home. Okay, so now here we're going to have our scaffold. Okay, our scaffold. All right, so this is saved now. Now, if I should run this so that while I'm building, you're seeing the updates as quickly as possible. So while that is running on our scaffold, let's have Okay, before that, let's see, remove the debug, whatever, false. That banner that usually show at the top right end here. This takes care of that. Okay, so let's start building. First of all, I want to have our app bar. Of course, I already talked about this earlier. So app bar. Now, what should our app bar have? Our app bar should have, let's give it the background. Give the background color of, let's say, don't give it blue or blue accent. Let's see. Did that. So yeah, it's going through error because it was working ready. Neat. Let's just wait a little while so that it starts. Okay, so there's some there's actually there are different approach, all right, to how you build the Flutter app. Yes, when it comes to placing widgets, which one you want to do first before the other. Yeah, if you want to start with the app bar, you can start with the app bar. If you want to start with the body, you can start with the body and then later come back to the app bar. All right, so it depends on the approach you want to use. Yes, sometimes you might come across screens where there's actually no app bar, but everything just displays from the top to the bottom. All right. So because the background color for app bar is different from that of the body. So you might come across where you might not really need to have an app bar. So you just build from the top down, and that's the body. So everything you build in the body starts from the top of your screen, this section here, down. Might not really have to implement an app bar there. Okay, so let's see. Let's go set up our or set the YAML. Oh, I just want this thing to just run first. Then we'll add our file. Okay. Okay, it's about starting now. Oh, I don't click on this thing. Yeah, to run the thing. Okay. Like I said before, the app bar widget is the main widget in an Android app that sits at the top of the application. Okay, it displays the title, leading icon, toolbar widgets, and actions. Okay, so that's for the app bar. Can give you the background color, okay, just like we did here. So the more widgets you add, the more you see. Okay, we also have like an icon button. Okay, so it's about to start now. All right, click install. All right, it's coming up now. Okay, so we have a blank screen with our app bar in blue accent color. Yeah. So let's see what we can add next. Let's say we add a leading icon. Hmm. Yeah, leading on this one to come down here. Leading, then we'll have icon. Let me see how fast we can go with this. Icons, dots, say back, or arrow back. Okay, and then let's have color for the arrow. Colors dots. Let's give it a black. Of course, it has to be black. All right, so when I save and hot reload, you already have your back button here. Okay, so as well, you can as well add other things like, let's say size. Give it a size of 20. Let's see what that does. Okay, it doesn't extend, it doesn't make it bigger than that. But anyway, there's a way to actually work on that. All right, so now let's add actions. Add actions. We'll have let's say icons. Or icon button. Too many of these things popping up on the screen. Okay, icon button. We have the unpressed. Control I. All right, we'll put this, and then your icon. You have icons. Okay, then what? Let's say do we use there now? To work this way. Icon, yeah, yeah. Icons dots. Let's say let's give it a star border. Color, colors dots. Let's say I can use this. This works. Amber, yeah. And then in the print statement, in the unpressed button, let's have print. Let's have contact is star. All right, we just have. So once we have that, let's save. Okay, so there's a star here, and then you have your back button. Okay, so the star is yellow or amber. Okay, so that works. Now, if I should, let's say, click on this star. Now, you look at this console here. Let's see what happens. It says contact is starred. That's because I clicked on this star. Okay, contact is starred. So the more I click on it, all right, you see the counter here. Meaning I've clicked it 4 times. Contact is starred. That is your print statement here. All right, so let's move on further. Okay, so now you have your icons. Let's move on to the body, or we don't actually have a title there. So let's give it a title. Come here, give it a title, say text. and give it my profile. Okay, but reload, and then you have that there. Okay, so okay, so have that there. And now let's go to the body, is your action. So the next thing you have is your body. Your body should happen just after this bracket here. Yeah, okay. Now always notice that there's an alignment. Home, everything about home here is down here. Your app bar stops here. Yeah, actions here. All right, so like that. Now let's have our body. Now in our body, let's make use of a list widget, list view. Okay, list view widget. So we'll have a list view. The next thing we should be having is children. Okay, and inside that children, we'll have a column widget. We'll have a column widget, and then next thing we'll have children again. And inside the children of the column widgets, we'll have a container. Let's have a container. Okay. See how fast we can go about this. We give it a height and width. Inside the container, you can give it a height. Let's say height of 200. Then width, a width of double the infinity. Okay. Of course, you can also give it a figure. All right. Just like you give the height 200, you can give this a figure. Then the next thing you should be having is a child. Yeah. Let's have a child. Okay, we had children, now we're having a child. So in this child, let's put an image. Now there's something about image when it comes to image. I'm going to be using a link. So more like fetching, all right, an image from the web. So the other time I did asset. Asset refers to a picture that is inside your machine, okay, that you can just put into your asset folder. But this time around, because when you're going to be dealing with fetching data, all right, live data, this will come in handy. So this will have like a link, okay? So I've not thought about how I'll show you how to go about that. Let's just leave that there. And then the image height should have, let's say 200. I think that should work. Why is it showing error? There's something I'm missing. Okay. Okay. Got to be in here, 200. Okay, take this out. This will be the height of the image. And then let's give it a fit. The box fits. Now I have box fits that contain. Now it's showing you what it looks like when it's contained. Then when you move down to cover, it shows you that it covers the whole width and height. Here it says view it tells you how fill looks like. Fit height, it tells you how it looks like. Fit width, and so on. Okay, so let me use cover here. That's what I want to use there. All right, so we have the network, image network height of the image. Then how should the image look like on screen? Okay, so now we've done that. Now let's move further to, let's say, still within the children, let's add another container. Okay, we'll have another container. We give it a height of, let's say, 60. We give it a height of 60. Then we'll have a child. Set child, let's bring in the row widget. We have the row widgets. Okay, and inside this row widget, you have children. Okay, because as you're typing, you're also saying that it's bringing up the argument or the next line of widget you can bring in. Okay, so we have children. Now inside these children, oh sorry, we have, okay, row, yeah, row, children, and then inside these children, let's have a padding. But let me see, I've not actually placed. Okay, let me hot reload and see what it looks like. Did it stop? Okay, I think it stopped because I can't find my reload here again. Let's see. Yeah, can't find that. Okay, so while it's launching, we already have children. So in our children, let's have, okay, here it's saying use a size box to add white space to a layout. Okay, try using a size box. You can use size box, okay, depending, yeah. So, I don't like the fact that this thing is not properly arranging, like, okay, I need to have a comma here. I need to have this here. Okay, all right, it's building now. Yeah, no host specified URL. Okay, that's because I've not added the URL. It's throwing that error. There's an image that's supposed to be here. Okay, so let's see how we can get that image now. Let's go to, let's see. I'll pick something, or let's go to, let's say, let's see. Okay, so let's have this guy. So right click, copy link address. Okay, once I copy that, then I can go back to this now. This, yeah. Where's this one I was building just now? The dot. Okay, should be this profile. Okay. All right. So I'll come here now and look for that place and put the string of the, oh, this link is long. Okay. Let's see if we can work with that. But reload. I already specified it in the URL. I don't have to restart again. Invalid image data. Let's restart and see. Invalid image data. Let's try another link. Let's see. Let me try something else. Let's say HTTPS. Let's have GitHub. It's called slash pty code slash 18 filter. So, say one slash 6 JPG or okay, that's true. Let's try and see what happens. Why is it not displaying? Reload. Me is not displaying. Not displaying. It's called photo. Okay. KodeCamp. Yeah, it was to work. It had to work. Why is it not working? Let's reload again and see. Why? Still the same thing. I don't know why this is happening though, but seems like it's to work. It's not showing any, so let me go for it now. No, I don't know if I ever save. Seems like that link is still not. Okay. I don't know why this is not working. But let's move further. Let's see. We'll get to that. So have child. Inside child, we have row. Then we have children. Inside children, we have padding. Let's have a padding. And then let's give it a padding of let's say 8. H. This is the whole. Give it value 8. Okay. And then let's have next thing we're going to have is child. Let's go properly. That child should be a text. Text. The name. Let's say David. Okay. All right. Now insert this. We'll have style. Let's give it a style. Text style. Then let's say give it a font size of 30. I hope my device is not actually disconnected. Second session connection timed out. It's just in case you can't hear me, just let me know. Okay. The network. We stop this and we run again. Okay. All right, so we'll put it down for the text only, and then let's see if we can bring in a divider. Well, where should that come in? That should come in this. Okay, it's only showing the name, it's not picking the image. Oh, these long names. Can this work? invalid image data. This is not fetching. Why? Why? What is going on? Let's see if we can resolve this. Invalid image data. Okay. If it's not doing that, then I guess we'll have to stick with one that works. So let's take this off and see. Change this one, images splash. Okay. Yeah, just give me one. All right. So I'll make do with this one. All right. Okay, so now we have the name. Okay. Now give it a padding of 8. Let's see if we give it 12. Let's see what happens. All right. Now let me just put in this. Okay. All right. You have a name there. And we'll have a divider. Let's bring our divider. Let's place it somewhere here. I'm just trying to bring in so many widgets so that we can see how they're being applied. Okay, let's give it a color of gray. Gray, but reload. Yeah, that's the divider there. Okay, so that brings that up. It's 1247. I have to be fast. The next thing we'll have, let's have another container. Of course, you can have other widgets, okay? Like so many widgets. Doesn't always have to be container, although these are actually commonly used containers, okay? Widgets rather. Now in this, let's have a margin, let's say margin of, we're supposed to have this, 12. This margin gives it margin all around a text or a picture or whatever. Now, instead of or, you could also do from left, top, right, bottom. Okay, this means left, top, right, bottom. Okay, from view padding, you can do only just if you want to just put a top, okay, or you want to define it differently. Oh, can put this one, give it a 40. So if you want to do that, it's allowed. Or just give it like a general measurement, the same measurement, left, top, right, bottom. Okay, yeah. And then let's say, okay, let's have a row, but then we need a child, give it a row, give it a row, and then we'll have children in it, of course. It's a children. Now let's have a call button. But then in order to do that, let's say we have to create methods. Okay, so now let's bring in what I taught in that about methods. Okay, so in this aspect, let's see, we're going to have a lot of errors. So I don't want to actually just put in the call action item. So before they are created. So let's create the methods first. Okay, so if I want to create a method, I come here just before the last bracket. Okay, so let's say adding, let's say, call action item. Let's do it this way. All right. So here we're going to have widgets. Then name of, let's say, instead of build call button, let's do build. Yeah, build call button. Yeah. So build action, whatever that it gave before. Naming your variables, it's very, very important. Yes. So that you can be able to remember and tallies with what you actually want to build. So let's say we have this will return a column. Let's say column, and inside the column we'll have children. Inside children, we're going to have an icon button call, okay, colors, call button pressed. Okay, let's do this. All right. What's missing here? This is missing. Okay. So now we've just created a method call, a call button. All right. Now this button, when it's being pressed, okay, it indicates that it's being called. So let's come here and place that method. Let's call it here. We're going to call it here by doing this. Build, you can see the build call button. All right. So let's see. Let's hot reload. Yeah, you have your call button there. All right. This is a call button. So I can do that for many more. All right. So let's just see we can add 2 more or 3 more. I don't know. Well, let's see if we can add more. Let's add a text button. We'll have widgets. Okay, you have email button. Okay, I'm just going to, so that it helps me to be fast, so that I can use the other 1 hour to teach you guys. Okay, have message button. Let's see, this one too works. If you just follow the pattern, all right, these are methods, all right, builds, and then, okay, I think we have these already. Let's see what we have on screen. Session image, okay, where is that coming from? Okay, I've not called it. All right, I thought I was already experiencing errors. So for me to do that, I have to go call build email button and build message button in here. Right? In here, build email button and then build message button. All right, so we have that. Okay, fantastic. So let's save and then hot reload. All right, so we have this. Okay, so now on the method, we have print call button pressed, print email button pressed, then print message button pressed. If I should bring up my terminal and then I click on message, what happens? See here, message button pressed. If I should come here and click this, email button pressed. I come here and click this, call button pressed. So this print statement is to tell whether you're getting a response, okay? you're getting response. It applies to, especially when you're implementing or calling APIs, endpoints, all right? So we've not got into that level though, but when it comes to basic here, you can just try to test to see that, okay, when I click on this button, does it really respond? You know, like that. Okay, so that's basically it for our profile. Of course, there are other things to add. I think there's one probably like, I made mention of list style. Okay, let's see. Now let's go back to this. We already have this, so let's bring in like another divider. Okay, give the color gray, and then when that color is done, of course, you can also give the background of the body color. Okay, depends. Yeah, then let's have a mobile list style. Now, if we're going to have a mobile list style, then we'll have to create that too. We'll have to set that up too. So how are we going to do that? Just like the way we created method for the call button and all that. So let's go down. We already created 3, so let's do widget. Let's do widget, let's say, I want to put a mobile number. So let's say mobile phone list. Okay. Mobile phone list style. Then, of course, we're going to return a list style. Let's see what this have. Phone, mobile phone, this trailing icon, on top print phone number. Okay, this works. This works. So in this list style, we return the list style widget. This is a widget, okay? But this whole source code here, from here to here, is a method, okay? So in the list style, we have the leading, just like we have in our app bar, okay? Leading widget icon. Now, what is going to lead the widget is going to be phone. Let me hot reload so that you see. Okay, I've not called it yet. Then you have title, you have subtitle, trailing icon. This trailing icon is usually an icon at the end, right end of your screen, okay? So, and this is on top. In here, you have compressed, okay? But here, this on top comes with the list style, okay? Is an argument list style. I told you that anything, when you have properties like this, they are actually arguments inside the bracket. So when you click Control I there, you see all the arguments that applies to list style. Compressed apply to icon button. Same for other widgets too. All right, so let me go up here and call, let's say below, just below the mobile phone list style. Okay, so we have that there. I'm going to hot reload and let's see what we have. We have mobile phone, this, all right? So the leading icon and the trailing icon is the leading icon, is the trailing icon, all right? So you can also add more as well if you want. Now this place I made use of list view, okay? This is a row inside list view, okay? Because you have a column bringing down, straight down, yes, but inside here you have a row, inside a list view. Here it's, what I call it just now, list style. All right. So these are the basic or more commonly used widgets when it comes to building a mobile app. All right. So this 1259. Yeah, almost one. Good. So we've succeeded in making a profile. All right. If you want to add background
Sorry, I have a
color
question.
to, Okay, what's your question?
I don't know. Is it possible to remove this squiggly line under this print? Why does this keep on saying don't invoke?
Don't invoke print in production code.
Yes.
Um, it's always there, it's permanently, except you delete the print statement. Now, when you're actually building mobile apps, when the product is finally done and you want to like deploy it to Google Play Store or Apple Store, you delete anything that has to do with print statement. Don't invoke it. Why? Because that way you could actually leak data. One could actually like get access to your device internally and uh, should I say break a lot of things or steal as data, have access to data. So that's why you don't invoke print statement in production code. When your app is finally done, you built your app, it's fine, everything is working well. You remove all the print statements. So that's why it's telling you not to invoke this before you deploy your app
Okay. Okay.
permanently.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So even if here you said use a size box, you can change it as well. I'm sure you noticed me change it. All right. So it just depends. Of course, you experience more things like this. I think there's more of that. Okay, print statement always does this. Yeah. Okay, so let's move over to let's see. We'll move over to um form. Yes, validation of form validation. So what are we going to do now? I'm going to create another file here, but let's see. Let me create a folder. Let's say form validation. Okay. And then create a file inside of it. Uh, okay. Just give it a form. Let's say register form. Register. Yes, dot dot. Just put register dot dot. Okay. So you have register. Okay. Now for this, um, of course, definitely, we're going to switch. I'm going to make a switch. This is already like, let's see. Hmm. Okay, we'll have another main. We'll have another main. Yeah, we'll have another main in here. So let's just have this move from here to here. Okay, and let's call this one form, or let's say form data. Of course, you can create another project to actually do this. All right, so I'm going to import Flutter material. I need this. And then this form data, I now have to create a class. So in here, I'm going to create a class. What is that class going to be? Let's see. That class is going to be, of course, not form data. Okay, yeah, form data works. Mm, so this STL, right? Yeah, it does this. This change to form data. Okay. Instead of even using form data, why not register? You can use register anyway. That works. All right. small d to be a capital D. All right, so that works. Then now let's use, because this main, since we're done with this, we might not really be having need of this again. So let's come to test and change those to form data. All right, I saved. Yeah, I know why you're coming up anyway. I'm changing it. So I have to, there's nothing actually like I have to rebuild again since I've commented out this very main file. So now we're just having this. So I'm going to stop this. And then let's have our widget build, of course. Widget build contents, then return, not this, return material app. And inside of this, let's have our home, of course, home scaffold. Okay, of course, you can remove the bulb, whatever, to reinforce the banner. All right, so now we have this. This now inside a scaffold, let's see, we can create a form now. Or another way you could put it is that this your home could be, let's say, register. Okay, well, let's spell there. Register. Okay, so if we have register, then we can now create register form. Let's just do it this way. So it has to be out. Can now create a class st if this can be a stateful widget. Yeah, just created a stateful widget. Now this stateful widget, we're going to delete this and put in this register form. Okay. Yes, as simple as that. Register form, register form, register form, register form, register form, register form. Okay. All right. So this is stateful widget. Now, what's the next thing to do? The next thing is to, let's say, I'm going to come up with, all right, let's see. I'm going to build, let me make use of this. All right, so this is a screenshot of a form, a register form. Now let's see how we can go about this. Okay, it doesn't actually have, I can't really actually tell the size or the padding that was included, but then I should be able to get something close to it. All right. Now, first things first, before we get to the implementation of, let's say, data, there's methods, functions, okay, for it to take in name and taking user details. Let's get started on the UI. All right, let's get started on the UI. Now, if let's say we'll come here and give it a scaffold. All right, now inside a scaffold, in here, let's say a background. We'll give the background color. It doesn't actually need an app bar because there's no indication that there's an app bar on this screen. All right, so let's say we have a background color of now there are different ways to actually apply colors to this. Okay, so let's say we have color bracket value. Now this value is expecting something like this. Okay, so now for this white, like I said, there's nothing to actually tell, but let's see. If we have 0 times ff, let's say E7, E6, let's see, okay, FD, okay, I think this might go in. Now this background color is for the body, okay, like top. All right, so let's see, or rather background. Let's see what this does. Let me switch to, okay, I've not started running. Let's run this and see what we get. Going to bring up this and wait for it. Now, because we're actually dealing with forms, that's why we're making use of stateful widget. Yes, I remember saying that stateless widget does not require any change. Nothing changes. It doesn't track changes. But stateful widget does track changes. All right, and that these changes we're going to be tracking is the user data that a user imputes into the field boxes, because we have field box for name, we have field box for business name, phone number, email, password. Okay, so it needs to track those changes and updates. Okay, so that's why we're using stateful widget. All right, so while this is building, let's see. Okay, so we have a blank white screen. All right, so since we have a blank white screen, let's move on forward to have the body. Let me capital it all. Let's have a body. This color is for the background, the scaffold background, because normally, initially when I launched an app that didn't have anything inside of it, it was just a black screen with a line drawn across, like diagonal lines from left to right and from right to left. Okay, so I think that's what this color does. Now, in our body, looking at the, let's say we'll bring in safe area. Yeah, there's a widget called safe area. It has a child. And if that child will bring in another widget, let's say center. Now inside the center, we'll have a single now. So really like single. Okay, the child. Yeah, child. Okay, single child scroll view. This single child scroll view allows you to scroll on the screen when you see a lot of data on your phone, or when you open your WhatsApp and you need to scroll to see messages that are below downwards, this is what makes it do that. Okay, so, but actually this is like a one-page thing, so it's not really going to scroll, but it just helps you to be able to type in your data so that when the keyboard, when you click on the field and you want to type, you see what you are typing, not like the keyboard is covering the input box. Because usually when you're filling forms, the input box is usually above the keypad. All right, so this allows for it. This helps too. Okay, so in this single child scroll view, let's have, let's say, now let's look at this very picture where you, this picture. Okay, so let's say we have a padding. The padding of this, let's say 20. 20 works. Usually, I know 20 doesn't usually look like that, but 24. Now familiar with so many of these numbers. Okay, now let's create a widget. What is this widget going to be? We'll bring in child. I think we should have child, yes. Okay, child, then let's have form. Yes, we have form, and then another child again. Beside this child, we're going to have column. We'll have a column. This column should bring in children. Should have children, yeah. And these children, what are we having now? Let's say a text. This text, let's register account. Okay, so we'll have text. And put in that. Let's register accounts. Okay, so if we have that, let's see what reload this. See what happens to our, let's register account. Okay, this happens to be in the center. All right, so, and usually this is large. Yes, this is large. So let's bring in style. Style, text style. Bring in a text style. And let's see. This looks actually big, so I'm thinking we might have a bold there. Thinking we might have a bold. Let's say font weight, font weight, font weight, font weight. Font weight, bold. Okay, then let's give it. Let's see. Looking at it, it has a font size. What could be the font size? The font size of, let's say, 28. We'll do that. Okay, these things this way. All right. Now then, of course, color should be black. like real black. So let's do color. Colors dots. Let's do black. There are different shades of black, but I want the very black one. Very black sharp. Hot reload. Let's see what we have. Let's register account. Okay. All right. This is fine. It's at the middle, of course. So let's go down to what's the next thing. There's another text just below it. So what we just do is bring in another text here. So I'll just copy this, Control C, and then paste it here and change this text only. Hello, user, okay. Hello, user, comma, you have a great full journey. Signing up, yeah? Yeah, not ahead of you. Okay, then now it's not actually bold. So what do we do to this? Since it's not actually bold, we might just actually leave it with a font size. So let's take this out. Color black. It's not really that black though, but let's see if I should bring this to 14 or 16. Let's try 16 first. Let's see what happens next. Okay, hello user, you have a grateful journey. Okay. Now, you notice this is actually at the center, all right, because we're making use of a center from here, all right? And then since we're also making use of column, all right? Because if you look at the picture, you find that it's starting from the left hand side. If we're going to do that, then we should come up to where you have column, and then there's something that we call cross alignment start. Okay, so this one makes it to start. Let's see what we load. Okay, why is that not happening? Alignment does start, yes. It ought to work. First axis alignment, yeah. Or do I do main first? I know that is the center. Let's do start. Let's see. Still doesn't work. What's going on? Main axis alignment is supposed to at least in a way move. Let me see if I should. Can I remove this? Yeah, of course. Can remove that. Okay. All right. So it's there. But then let me see if I should put this. Comment this. All right. Still the same thing. No. So that means the right top, let's register account, is actually bigger because here the account is not in a straight line. It goes on to the second line. Then here, so if we want to do this, there's actually a way to go about it. Now on the text, let's register account. We'll bring in a /n. is supposed to work, or n slash supposed to work. To make it come down, you have, oh, okay, all right. We're using the forward slash. It's actually the back slash. All right, so let's see. Let's reload, see what happens. Okay, so let's register account. Hello user, you have a great journey. All right, so, and there's actually spacing between here. So let's see what can be done about that. Let's bring in a sized box of height 16. 16 will be too much, won't it be? Okay, 10 works. 10 works. So let's move on to other aspects. Or let's see this screen here. So next thing we have in line are field boxes. Now, for these field boxes, we're going to have, let's give the sized box with a height of, let's say 30. I think 30 might work. Let's bring in a text field. Text form field. Okay. Now, text form field, it has its arguments. These are all the arguments that you find inside the text box field. Yeah. So let's see what AI is giving us. AI is giving us decoration, input, full name. Do we have full name there? No, just name. Border, outline, input, border, or no, I want to take this gradually. All right. So in this text form field now, of course, we're starting with the decoration. Give it decoration, and then the next thing is input. Let's say can have input. All right. And inside this input decoration, inside this input decoration, we'll have let's say I don't want to really make this long, although there are ways to actually go about this. Only see I can actually make it really like short. What can we do now? Okay, because it's almost like we're going to be repeating this argument for all of these boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that's going to actually take a lot of time. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of time. So what we'll do is that we'll set up a method. Let's say somewhere around here. Let's set up in we'll have inputs. Okay, input decoration. Let's say input decoration. Yeah, of course. Yeah, inputs. private. Okay, I have input decoration, then we can have this and this. Okay, then let's return input decoration, of course. Return input decoration. What should be inside this input decoration? We should have int text, int text. Let's have int text. Int text should give us hints. Okay. Then border should give us since this border is outlined. Okay, this very border is going to be outlined. Outline border or outlined input border. Outline input border. Okay, so if you have outline input border, then inside this border, getting this curve around the edge of the border should give us border radius. Border radius. Border radius are okay. Border radius dot circular. Border radius dot circular, and then radius of 8. Let's see, that should work. And then let's say a padding between the text. All right, so that as you're writing, it's in the middle. Let's see. Here we'll have this, and then to have padding here, or if there's no padding there, then it has to be content padding. Okay, content padding. You can have, let's apply symmetric vertical 1612. Does that work? Well, horizontal 16, vertical 12. Okay, we'll see how it looks though. So now let's see, what are we missing? Okay, this hint now is throwing an error here. So let's go and put it in this bracket. The hint is supposed to be a string, right? This name, business name, these are hints before the actual text. These are hints. Of course, you always see this in forms. So since this is a string, we're going to come here, put it in here, hints. All right. So now I think we've actually set up this. Remember, this is set up here, just inside the class of register form state before the UI build. Okay. So if there's no error, so we'll now have to go and call this because this has to be referenced. That's why it's saying the declaration. This isn't referenced. If it's not referenced, try removing the declaration of input decoration. So let's go, we'll save it, but reload, because nothing shows here, or does it? Text form field. So for this text form field now, what we're just going to do is that we're just going to call in that method. Okay, we're just going to call in that method. And how are we going to do it? This is how we're going to do it. In this place here, we're going to have input decoration. Yeah. Now, this hint is pointing out that there's had to be something like, okay, so we'll take the hint. We're not calling out the hint. What we need is name. Since is a string, all right? And then let's have, of course, we'll have validator, like, let's see, validator to validate that there's a name actually inside this box. This validator validates for name, it validates for phone number, it validates for email, it validates for password. So that if you click the sign up button and you don't have data in this field, or you have data in 3 fields and left 2 other fields, or you left 1 field and did the rest, or you only did 1 field and left the rest, whichever one is empty, it will tell you, it will throw an error that you need to fill this field. Okay, fill in your name or fill in your phone number or that. So, but this requires that programming, okay? A program to check the validation of name or phone number or any of the field. Okay, so in this, we're going to have, let's see. Mm, okay, we'll have this, but take this out. All right, then let's say value, okay, that is empty. Here will be enter your name. Okay. When we're having extra. Okay. So this is the validator. All right. If the value is empty, it should tell you to enter your name. But if it's not empty, then it proceeds. There is null, meaning there's actually a text inside. All right. So now that's for text form field for name. Now let's do for business name. So in order to do that, let's see, is there any need for maybe, okay, there's no need. All right. Okay, so this is text form field for this. Now let's have, there's actually spacing in between. So let's bring in the size box. Let's bring this size box and let's bring it here. I hope I still have time. 139, okay. All right, so we brought in the size box. Now let's copy this text. Now, if you notice, I just applied OOP in this particular part. If not, what I just did was I just declared the method here, this input decoration, just declared it here. If not, what I'll do is that I'll have to be copying all these things for name, for business name, for phone number, for email, for password, and I'll now have a very long code. But I just have this method here. All I just need to do is call it. All right, so it just makes work easier. This is the application of OOP. All right, so here, instead of name now, we'll have, since you already have name, we'll have business name. So all we need to do is add business name, then Here, let's say we'll have is enter your business name or enter business name. Enter business name. One thing about writing code is try as much as possible to just be simple, make your code simple, readable. Yeah. And okay, so we'll bring in another size box. Okay, and then bring in text again. All right, this time around for phone number. So what are we going to be using for phone number? In phone number, there's something you need to add. Here, let's say, I think keyboard. Yeah, keyboard type. Keyboard type. You have for number. This for number. You have for email address. You have for multi-line. You have for name. You have this, Okay, so for number or phone. Okay, so let's use number. Then now we have to actually determine the length of the number, the phone number that you want to enter. Okay, so in order to do that, this is going to be phone for the hints. It's going to be phone because I'm actually following this to see that we're inputting everything gradually. So now let's go to the validator. If value this time around dot length, if value dot length is less than 10, yeah, it's less than 10, then it should prompt you to enter valid phone number. Phone number, okay? But if not, no, meaning you passed. The length is actually more than 10, okay? So then let's have another size box again. Bring it down to, at least by the end of this bootcamp, you should be able to have a movie app that you actually like built. So you have a sign up screen, a splash screen, onboarding, all right, then down to a movie where you can fetch a list of movies from a list of movies in your phone. You can see them, but not actually watch though. But if it's possible, if time allows, maybe we might be able to implement that. Yes. So now have another text field again, email this time around. So if we bring in, let's bring in this one. Copy this time around. We're looking at email. Then of course, just like we did keyboard tags, okay, it does that. Then if now for email, remember it's very, very specific. All right. For email, let's do, if the value is empty, or where's the or? Okay. Or the value does not contain. So how do we do that? Value, okay, dot contains what makes an email valid? The @ symbol. Okay, so if it's empty, if the field is empty or does not contain an @ symbol, then it should prompt you to say enter okay. Prompt you to say enter valid email. Okay, yeah, but otherwise no, meaning it has this. All right, and definitely is not empty. So whichever of the case may be. Now, I remember talking about is it booleans now? No, not really booleans. We're talking about no, I taught you on condition statements. Is it condition statement flow and all that? Yeah. This comes in handy where I said if you have true and true, you have the AND statement, the OR statement, or the NOT statement. So this is where it's applied. All right. So you need to really understand the basics. Now we're imputing all those DAT programs that I taught earlier into building a mobile app. All right. So this is how it works. So the next one now is password. Password. Let's see. Okay, I'm supposed to actually have a size box, but oh, I can put it there and bring this. Okay, and place it here, just above. Let's hot reload. Let's see if we have. Okay. Okay. Now, if you notice something, there's a difference. This background color is what's appearing there, but this very white, it's not what it's showing. So anyway, we'll get to that. So our password, let's look at password. Now, when it comes to password, of course, we don't really have a value key, a keyboard specific to that. So what we'll do is that take out this one, okay, and then do something about the validator. Validator to take if the password, to give the user a condition for entering the password. Okay, so let's say validator value, okay, value is this time around, let's say if dot length. So the length, okay, is less than 8. All right, then we'll take out this one. We'll have password too short. Okay, so this is one condition. Of course, you could have other conditions, like if it does not contain any symbol, you could actually do that too as well. If it doesn't have capital letter, all right, you can also set that as well. So just like the way I did in email, if it contains this, if it does not contain this, or if it does not contain so. Anyway, we'll definitely get to that. So yeah, so this validation is complete, right? Now we'll move to the button. We'll move to the button. So in order to move to the button, we introduce, let's say, of course, let's have this. Then in button, you can have elevated button. You have the unpressed and you have the child. So for this one, we just like give it this first, and then let's look at the child. And what do you have there? You have sign up. So give it text, and then side hits, you have sign up. That's for the button. Okay. Of course, you can have other things. All right. So, or let's see. Now, elevated button dot let's say background color. Of course, when just that start from, let's say pressed, and then now it's showing an error because it's requesting this. The element type button style can be assigned on the list type widgets. All right. So let's see. Can be assigned to the parameter unpressed. So if it can be assigned to the parameter unpressed, what will it be assigned to? What should it have then?
Hello, sir.
Yes, hello.
For the place that you are supposed to put password, you left it at home.
Sorry, I didn't hear you clearly. Come again.
I said for the place for password field, you include decoration bracket. Instead of password, you left it at email. Where you see the this yes, yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. That's good. You're paying attention. All right. Password. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. Okay. So here we're gonna have, let's say, a background color. This background color, it looks like purple, but not really purple. The purple accent. Let's see. This might work for it if possible. If we have that, then we can also have a padding. I think there should be padding. Yeah. Horizontal, vertical, will that work? Let's just have vertical. So I'm just going to take out this one and give it a vertical. All right. Then vertical of 12 is not too small. Let's say 16. We're looking at it. Then child. We'll still come back to this child anyway. Yes. So right now, this button is actually expecting something in the oppressed. All right. The unpressed function. Like it's something that needs to just be here. So what are we going to do next? Of course, for this one, the color is white. There's no leave that style, text style. Yeah, then style, text style. Mm. text style. Okay. Okay. Then we have color, colors, dots, white. Okay. This is supposed to be style though. Okay, so the element type button style can be assigned to the list style widgets. Okay. Something. Okay. No, let's also have this here. If elevated button, because elevated button should have the unpressed and then give you a style. All right. So give you a style. Yeah. Then elevated button does style from. Okay. And then this one should now come in. Control X. Yeah. And then you have, let's say, the impressed. Okay. All right. It's better now. So this one shouldn't be here. It should just be this. Textile. All right. Then colors. Colors dot white. Yeah. Okay. So we have that elevated button style, elevating button dot style from, then background, which is this. I just hope it matches though. Yeah. Then unpressed. When you click on unpressed, what should happen? Now you need to define a method for that. All right. Need to do that quickly. And then we already have an account login. Let's see. Do I still have time? 158 times fast spent. All right, so let me see if I can just, or okay. Well, I have to end this class. But anyway, so far so good. I think we've actually achieved, let me hot reload. Okay, sign up. Something is missing. The width. Okay, so I'm going to take this out, and then this is going to be wrapped with a sized box, giving the height of 20 and width double infinity. That receive. All right. So we'll have 20 as the height. Let's say 20 too small. We give it it's still too small. Okay. Let's take it up. See. All right. The 80 is really So let's make it 60. And then let's give it a size box. Let's give it 30. And bring it down. All right. So from this, I think we should really continue from this in our next class, because definitely your next step should be within this region. All right, nothing happens for now because it's rented. All right. All right, so we've come to the end of this class. I'm going to stop recording now.